World War I didn't just come out of nowhere. This is something that a lot of times we're taught in history classes, where it's just like World War I really wasn't expected, and it all of a sudden started, and everybody got dragged into a war, which that part was true. Everybody got dragged in. Stupid war, shouldn't have happened. However, there was a lot of precursors to World War I. In the years leading up to World War I, we had a bunch of wars that would end up leading to the big war, right? So we had the Italo-Turkish War, which was the war between the Italians and the Turks. The Italians won. They conquered a bunch of parts of Libya, then held by the Ottomans, as well as some other islands in the Aegean. Now, this was also the first time airplanes were used in combat, in case you've seen that video of Bert Kreischer trying to figure that out. Then there was also the two Balkans Wars, which gave independence to these countries or expanded their independence away from the Ottomans. And there was a whole bunch of these leading up to World War I. And a big part of this was both the Ottomans and, even though the Austro-Hungarian Empire wasn't directly involved, a lot of these countries in the Balkans were realizing that the Ottomans were a lot weaker than they were, and the Austro-Hungarians were a lot weaker than they were. And so they were really trying to push for more independence. They were going to war, and all of these things, seeing this weakened foe, they were able to then take advantage of it and get more aggressive, which would obviously lead to Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Now, I think it would have been hard for anybody to realize that there was going to be this massive war that was going to just take on the whole world. But I think especially over here, people were figuring out this was going to happen because the Ottomans, they were really in their last gasps, kind of like when they took over from the Byzantines. The Byzantines were slowly losing territory over generations. They were getting weaker and weaker and weaker until eventually it all fell apart. What it meant to be was only a memory. And they tried so hard, got so far in the end, it didn't even matter.